Welcome, Charlotte, Gastonia, Rock Hill, surrounding areas, the USA. Welcome to this latest edition of Under Construction. I'm your host, the Angry Black Fan, aka Jamal Darby. We have special guests in the building. We got Danny Thompson in the building. Y'all give it up for Danny Thompson once again.
What's up, fellas?
And we also have your usual suspects, Kaiser Sose, Rodney, Rod, Pops, Richardson. Y'all say what's up to the people.
What's up? What's going on?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
All right. So, like I have been asking for the last, 2 or 3 weeks, man, because I got to check on my people. It's all that's going on right now. I'll start with Danny. Danny, how are you dealing with the Rona, man? Are you ready to pull out the little bit of hair you have yet? How are you handling the Rona, man?
Hell, Ronan's done started my baldness already. Outside of that, living in the state that allowed people to go back to the beaches on Friday.
right.
In the house, bro.
My life is like the Bugs Bunny meme where you type in Florida and Bugs Bunny, where he's like slicing Florida and it falls apart. That's how it's. But it's been safe. I had my Corona scare too about 3 weeks ago. So outside of that, I'm healthy and good again.
That's what's up, man. Kaiser, what you got, man?
Chilling. As an IT guy, shout out to I shouldn't say this to the shout outs, but all the IT people out there that are making the world go around right now. I'm more busy now at work, working from home than I've been at the office because with people working from home, especially being a mobility engineer, people need their phones. It's crazy. So that I was working this morning. So that's working and racing on the sim rig. I'm sitting in it right now. So as soon as we get out here, I'm gonna go into iRacing, handle some business. Because that's the only sport going on right now is in the virtual world. So
hey, look, I was about to tell you to go ahead and tape it, man. I need something to watch because that's how desperate for sports I am. I would legit watch you race a sim race game right now. That's how crazy it is. Hey, Rodney, what's going on with you? What's up, man?
Jamal, I got the perfect throwback game for you.
What's that?
Go back to was it 2014? The year that we were 8-7-1.
Mm-hmm.
We had to play Atlanta to win the division. It was a good game, 30-0, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. I remember 34-3, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Good times.
Yeah.
But I just been chilling, man. I go back to work tomorrow. Pray for me. Work from home. And this is some new frontier. Other than that, man, I just been chilling, man. Eating good. My wife just celebrated her birthday, and we just been enjoying each other's company.
Cool, man. That's what's up. Hey, happy birthday, Candace.
Yes.
I will say, man. Well, as far as I go, man, y'all see this bottle is almost empty. That pretty much explains I've been dealing with the Rona.
You sure he wasn't watching the Panthers games from last season all over again?
I knew the comeback was coming, man. We gonna keep it civil today. I'm not messing with you today, Danny. We're gonna keep it civil today. All right. So besides drinking Hennessy, man, my hairline looks like Russell Wilson's hairline, hence the hat. Anybody who wanted that smoke on Mad Man, my gamer tag is Maul Fades Maul. I'm around, man. Get at me, man. So that's about it, man. But let's jump into these topics real quick, man. We're gonna talk about Mr. CMC. 4 years, $64 million, man. Now, me and Kaiser have argued at length why we think this guy is worth it. I don't think Rodney agrees with us. We're going to start with the guest first. Danny, from the outside perspective, man, how do you feel about a running back, but a Christian McCaffrey type running back getting $64 million over 4 years? Share your thoughts, sir.
I think it's like this. When your quarterback is Teddy Bridgewater and he's not known for throwing the ball down the field, you have to be able to check the ball down the field with somebody. And there's nothing better to have a guy who can literally catch everything out the backfield. The same way Le'Veon Bell was to Ben Roethlisberger. Right. You need a check down guy. I mean, it is what it is. McCaffrey is going, And the thing with Christian is that he's 24 years old, maybe 25.
Right, not 25 yet, I don't think.
I mean, he's at the point now where the contract is not superly long. I'm not sure what the guarantees are, but at least you have him till 28, 29, and that's where running backs start to hit that decline.
Right.
And like you said, you can move him in different places. And at this point, since you guys let Cam Newton walk away for absolutely positively nothing,
I don't like the way you said that, man.
I mean,
but it's true.
That's true. It's true.
I mean,
you ain't got to pour salt in the wound, man. But go ahead, man.
I mean, the thing is, like, with Christian McCaffrey is that he is a guy that sells jerseys. People love Christian McCaffrey in the area. You know, he's arguably now the face of the franchise with Kuechly being gone, Newton being gone. You got to commit to somebody. Otherwise, if you don't, you're looking at 1-15, 2-14 with the way this roster shaped. So at least you guys can get the 6 wins with them.
Rodney, what you got, man? Thoughts?
In all honesty, do we really want to get to 6 wins? I mean, I honestly, I'd rather do what the Dolphins attempted to do was actually try to play for that quarterback. I would love to see a Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields here. I just don't see the rationale of it's kind of like the Hornets to me. They're like going in dual directions. Like, okay, we're rebuilding, but we're trying to stay competitive, and ultimately that does not work to me. Me personally, I would have gained assets for CMC. We don't have an offensive line. I'm not a fan of Teddy like that. And CMC's going to get you stuck in the middle. He's too good for you to bottom out. You're going to be stuck in the middle with the 7th, between the 7th and the 12th pick every year. I mean, we need a quarterback. If you're going to try to bottom out, you actually need to bottom out now. Now is the time. You have a generational type quarterback coming out next year, Trevor Lawrence. Go take a shot for him.
All right, Kaiser, what you got?
So I see both sides of the issue. But a few things is, one, I feel like it's disrespectful to compare CMC to every other running back in the NFL, really.
I totally agree with that.
There's very few in the history of the league that are able to do what he is able to do. The closest that we have now is, I mean, there's Alvin Kamara, who I don't think is as good. He's not as good of a runner as CMC. And then you have a guy like, Saquon Barkley can catch well out of the backfield. So, you have a few guys, but guys like CMC are really a once in a generation kind of talent. And what he's able to do gives the Panthers a lot of different possibilities offensively. For instance, you could come out in a 5-wide set without swapping personnel, which is a huge advantage in the NFL because the defensive coordinator is going to say, okay, what personnel they're in, and then they're going to come out in a nickel or maybe even a base 4-3, and then bam, you've got 5 wide receivers and a linebacker covering Christian McCaffrey, which is a catch every time. So,
right.
So there's stuff like that. But linebacker covering Christian McCaffrey. I don't think the issue is with most fans is, how good the Panthers are going to be with or without McCaffrey. It's just that they don't feel like you need to pay a running back that much. And to that, I say this. Despite the fact the NFL has a hard cap, big contracts are not as detrimental in the NFL as they are in the NBA. NBA rosters are a lot smaller. You pay a guy like Nick Batum $25 million a year, and of course you don't have enough money to go around. And in the NFL, it's a little different. Most of your roster is going to be very, very small contracts. And the way the cap is designed in the NFL, it's to keep players like McCaffrey. In the NBA, it's not like that. The NBA is so that you can bring free agents on with your extra money. And the NFL is to keep the good players that you have. And that's what the Panthers should be doing. That's what a lot of teams in the NFL do. Free agency very rarely works out in the NFL. Look at a guy like Josh Norman. I mean, he was great while he was here. He goes to Washington. Now he's back home. So
right.
So having said that, is paying Christian McCaffrey all this money going to be a detriment to the Panthers? No. Who else? What else are we going to spend the money on? What else? I mean, there's no free agent offensive lineman that we're going to bring in that's going to cost that much or be worth that much.
Kaja, let me cut you off, man, because you bring up a real interesting point that I really agree with. NFL free agency is not quite like NBA free agency. You know what I mean? Like we keep this money, and it's like, okay, if there's some game changing quarterback that was out there in free agency that we could go chase, then you rationalize not paying Christian McCaffrey. But we know it doesn't work like that. You get what I'm saying? Every season there might be, and I do mean might be, 2 or 3 guys hitting free agency that you say, okay, it's worth it to go out and spend a ton of money on. But we know it doesn't work like that, man. But continue your thoughts, man.
No, that's all I was gonna say is I understand the thought that we may have overpaid him, but I don't think that hurts the Panthers that much. I mean, we overpaid D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart
at the same damn time.
We went to a Super Bowl a few years later, so I don't think it hurts the Panthers all that much. By the time his contract's up, okay, he's going to be, 28, 29 years old. At that point, the Panthers will probably move on, and we won't even be talking about this anymore. So.
Right.
I mean, Rodney, what do you – I mean, by bottoming out at this point, I mean, you're either tanking for Trevor or you're holding out hope that Deshaun Watson brings himself back this way, back you guys. That's really the only option you have. Deshaun Watson is a free agent potentially after next season. So, I mean, are you going to unload that checkbook and try and save money and pay Deshaun Watson $40 million? Because you're going to have to pay him to leave. Now, I know Houston's a bad situation, but he's going to go from bad to worse if he leaves from Houston to Carolina. You're going from a bad to worse situation because at least Houston's been in the playoffs.
Well, I'll say this, man. Houston, number one, is in their division is not as strong as the NFC South. However,
exactly. Do you want to leave a division that's weaker to go to the division that has what? You have an MVP at almost every position, or a Super Bowl MVP. You have Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Matt Ryan in the same division.
Look at this. Look. Drew Brees is done after this year. Tom Brady doesn't have much longer left. And the Falcons, I mean, I hate to say this. I mean, if you don't make the playoffs this year, it's time to blow it up. The window may be wide open next year.
I will say I think that in a few years the Panthers might be in a good place because you got to look at
rebuild earlier than everybody else.
Right, you got to look at eventually the Saints are going to have to rebuild, and the same with the Bucks. I don't think the Falcons are as close as those guys are, but the Panthers will be in a good position because once Breeze and Brady are gone, Bridgewater might be in a place where he's the second best QB in the division, next to Matt Ryan. So I can see the plan coming together. I think that's what Tepper and Matt Rule are looking at. They're saying, okay,
whatever that plan may be, because I have yet to really figure out what this damn plan is, to tell you the truth. But go ahead.
Adding a couple hours, Baylor Bear, former New Orleans Saints. Come on.
Yeah. I think they're looking at the next few years. Okay, Breeze is probably going to be gone. Brady's going to be gone. Matt Ryan will, by default, be the best QB in the division. Where are we going to stand then? And I think the Panthers might be in a good place by then. And I don't want to – I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, I like Teddy Bridgewater a lot, and I'm not unhappy at that signing at all. I'm not unhappy with it. If you look at what it's obvious the Panthers want to do on offense, he fixed that perfectly. They want to replicate what the Saints have been doing. You dink and you dunk, you dink and the dunk. When the DBs move up, then you throw over the top. And then, that's it. Teddy Bridgewater can do that. He's not going to – what we're going to miss from Cam is there were times where if the offense was in disarray,
improvisation
Cam was take over and he was going to do something spectacular. Teddy Bridgewater is not going to do that for you. But I think the instances in which he will need to will be far, far less. So,
all right.
3-4 years from now, I think we'll be in a good spot.
So, let me share a thought with y'all, man. So, when Christian McCaffrey signed his contract, and, if anyone went on Twitter, there's all this reaction. Oh, man, I'm glad somebody got their money. Get your money, CMC. And it was almost like it was a sarcastic reaction. So, and I'm thinking to myself, are people really kind of disrespecting Christian McCaffrey and the money he got? And I'm speaking more so from inside the football world. That's how it came across to me. I could totally be wrong. I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
I mean,
Danny, what you got?
Okay, Danny.
I'm gonna let Rodney go. I mean, I'm the guest over here. Go ahead, Rodney. Go. I'm gonna let you
Rodney,
go.
go. What you got?
If man, look, man, it's in the football world. There's a thing. A lot of people don't believe in paying running backs a second contract. If you look at the past couple Super Bowl winners, the running backs really didn't have a big hit on the salary cap. And then you look at it as well. I mean, yeah, CMC had 1,000 last year, but we were like what 5-11.
Right.
I mean, he didn't make a difference. You really don't build a team around a running back, man. I mean, that's how I feel, man. I don't know, man. Look. Again, I'm happy for CMC. I mean, to me, it's interesting that everybody's like, he's just more than a running back, and then like with Cam Newton, he's like, oh, he's just more than a quarterback, and it was a complete problem. It's just funny to me.
Gotcha. Danny, what you got?
I think it's funny because Derrick Henry was the NFL's leading rusher last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Derrick Henry got basically told, either you take this franchise tag or you're getting nothing more. You had Melvin Gordon, who's been a proven back in this league, and he couldn't even find a job. He's in Denver competing with two other running backs that are solid. Lindsey's had 1,000 yards the last 2 years because there wasn't a market.
Yep.
But then Christian McCaffrey gets $64 million, don't even know what the guaranteed number is. But you look at some running backs and like they're feeling some kind of way because Christian got his money, and then you're happy for him. But you're like, if you're Derrick Henry, like how much more punishment am I going to take? You know, this is a guy that's been carrying the Tennessee offense for the last 2 years. He's been carrying it. And on top of that, he's got more wear and tear than any of these running backs out there. Because if you think about this, you go all the way back to high school. Derrick Henry has the national high school record for rushing yards. When you set that, or a second now, when you have that many those type of yards, because he's from down here in Florida, he was carrying the ball 400 times a year in high school.
God.
Look,
man. I hear you, Danny. I hear all that.
And then he went to the SEC and got beaten down in Alabama.
He got beat up.
So he's looking for that check. He's looking for that check because he's not 1 year of franchise money. You got to understand. He can tear it. He can blow an ACL out next year because of all the punishment. It's over. He never got his payday. Alvin Kamara is now looking at Christian McCaffrey saying, okay, CMC's got his money. So what does it look like for me? The Saints are going to have to pony up now.
And the Giants going to pony up next year too.
For Saquon.
Listen. All y'all make great points, but here's my point. I think we all agree what Christian McCaffrey means to this team, what he means to the Carolina Panthers. Only us. You get what I'm saying? I personally don't believe you replace a Christian McCaffrey if you don't decide to pay him. Now, these other running backs, the Derrick Henrys and Alvin Kamaras of the world, is it the same thing? Are they easily replaceable in their team's eyes? Obviously, the Carolina Panthers don't think Christian McCaffrey is that replaceable. I get the sentiment. I get they want their money. I get they've taken all this punishment. But at the same time, they may not mean to their team what Chris McCaffrey means to the Panthers. Kaiser, what you think?
Like I said before, I think you cannot compare Christian McCaffrey to other running backs. You simply can't. His skill set is far, far too diverse. He doesn't just run the ball. He doesn't just pass the ball. In fact, the only major flaw in his skill set is that he's not a good pass blocker.
Right.
I mean, otherwise, he is a guy that can do multiple things, and you pay him as such. You essentially get two skill positions out of one. So I think it's totally fair that the market for a player like McCaffrey is much higher than it is for other running backs. As far as the idea that running backs are not important to a Super Bowl winning team, I see that. However, if you look at all of those teams, what do they have? Look at all the teams that won the Super Bowl in the last decade. What do they all have? Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Almost everyone except for the Ravens, which had a Hall of Fame defense. Other than that, they all had Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Carolina Panthers don't even have a Hall of the Week quarterback right now.
They got a Hall of Fame mascot.
Right. So,
And look, our jerseys are Hall of Fame.
Our jerseys in the Hall of Fame. That's about it.
I think it's important.
Oh, Danny, you better not talk about jerseys.
Don't do that, Danny. Don't do
Danny,
that.
you need to be the last one to talk about your team's jerseys.
Falcons fans and jerseys, they're just we'll leave that.
We're gonna leave that for next week.
But yeah, I just think that a running game is important to winning a Super Bowl as well. And Christian McCaffrey is our running game with Cam Newton gone. So I don't think this will hurt the Panthers all that much. I just don't. I just think it's one of those things. Of course, it's a topic of discussion because there's no other sports and it's big news in Charlotte. But
Right.
I think the Panthers will be okay with this signing.
All right. So before we move on, gentlemen, any last thoughts? Anything we didn't touch before we move on to the next subject?
I think it was the smartest move Carolina's did in the entire offseason.
Even more so than signing Robbie Anderson.
Yes, because
Right,
at
cool.
least I say it's the smartest move because at least for the next 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, you are set at running back. You have
Gotcha.
a foundation. You have a foundational player set. Now in the draft this week, if Carolina can go get a replacement for Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis at linebacker, like Simmons from Clemson, if he does fall that far, that means you have a piece on both sides of the ball. Rodney don't seem to be happy with that, especially as a Clemson guy. But
No. I think David Gettleman is going to take him.
Yeah, we just don't think he's going to last that long. That's the issue.
Well, then at that point, let's just say if he does fall that far, you take an offensive lineman, and like you said, your offensive line is not that solid anyway. You take something to block, or the kid from Auburn, Derek Brown. I love Derek Brown.
Like Javon Kinlaw too.
I think he's overrated.
You think he's overrated?
Yeah.
Discussion for another day.
Yeah, I think Derek Brown is a lock at 7 actually. But go ahead.
Derek Brown to 7 is
Carolina?
That's you guys.
It's us. Yeah.
Derek Brown is a defensive tackle that might be better than Kawan Short at his best in the league.
Wow, that's a big statement.
He is that. You got to think about this. When you play in the SEC and you can draw pass rushers and you're getting double teamed on as a defensive tackle and you command double teams every time that ball is snapped, and you're playing at Auburn, you're not playing at someplace. You're not playing at
Florida State,
Alabama School of the Blind, CPCC. You're not playing at those places. Okay, you're playing at a. I didn't say UNCC. I said CPCC.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
No, Rodney's trolling Florida State right now.
Florida State comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if you get double teamed the SEC on a game by game basis, and you still put up the numbers he is and blowing up people in defensive lines and backfields, Carolina needs that. You already have. I mean, I think, like I said, you had the first round pick, Bryant. You had the kid from Florida State last year, who's going to get more playing time.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody. It's the same way the Jaguars they had in place before they decided to let their entire defensive line go. When you had Josh Allen on one side, you had Ngakoue, and you had Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
And when you can blitz those 3 guys coming from one side or even 2 from the other side, you can't double team.
Yeah.
Right.
When Marcel Darius was there in the middle for Jacksonville had a pass rush. You had a pass rush. Carolina gets Brown. You have other guys come in. I think if you guys spent more time on defense in the draft and really build the defense back and get some speed and some, I say, like I said, if Simmons falls, you have to take him, but I think Brown's the guy there. And just stay away from trying to get that flashy playmaker until next offseason and next draft.
I agree with that. I agree.
I think the Panthers know their biggest deficiency last season was the defense, although everyone thinks it was the offense.
Yeah, I disagree.
I don't know, man. That running game, if you cannot stop the run in the NFL, you will.
You can't win. You can't win. Yeah. Right.
So,
and we got gassed a lot last year.
Every game, even the games, there were some games, to be fair, where Kyle Allen didn't throw 8 interceptions, and we still lost. So yeah, Derek Brown, I'd love that pick.
All right, we got to move on, gentlemen. We spent a lot of time on this topic. I know we can go.
One more question.
What you got, Rodney?
Danny, who do you want the Falcons to take in the first round?
I got a feeling Falcons are going to move up. We need all the help we can get in the secondary. When the division, and the crazy thing is, I think the NFC South is the only division in the NFL that all 4 receiving cores have 1,000-yard receivers on them. Yep. I'm talking duos. Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore in Carolina. Yep. Of course, Atlanta has Jones and Ridley. You have Sanders and Michael Thomas out in New Orleans, and then you have the duo in Tampa.
Yep.
Atlanta can't stop the pass, and we've known this for years, even going back to the Super Bowl years. The last time Atlanta could stop the pass was before Deion Sanders, and that's telling you something.
Right.
Like, Atlanta has not been good stopping the pass, and so I like C.J. Henderson if we get there at 16. I don't think he's going to last there, and I've been hearing that Atlanta's going to move up to try to get somebody on defense. I don't want another defensive lineman. I need somebody in the secondary. Keanu Neal can't stay healthy. We got to stop the pass. We have to stop people from scoring on us, especially in the air, because that's what everybody does. The same thing with Tampa. You got to have pass coverage.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it for this. That's it for any Atlanta Falcons talk for the rest of this show. So we got to move on, man.
Y'all still be 6-10.
So, man, tonight, y'all, if highly anticipated docuseries is coming on TV tonight, man. I cannot wait. We talking about The Last Dance, featuring the 97-98 Chicago Bulls, which will be documenting the entire last season, a 10-part series. I probably can speak for every man watching this. I plan on watching all 10 parts. Do not call me when this comes on. I cannot wait, man. So the first question I want to toss out there, all right? So we've been seeing things kind of pop up about Michael Jordan saying, you know what, man, when this comes out, people are going to think I'm a horrible guy. Now, my take on that is people who have followed Michael Jordan's career and who have heard about how insanely competitive he is, listen, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we should really expect too many surprises. You get what I'm saying? He's going to say some shitty things to teammates. He's going to piss some people off. We're going to see some fights in practice. So I don't think the guys who really follow Michael are going to see anything different. But maybe to somebody who hasn't seen Michael, they may their opinion might sour on Michael a little bit. What do y'all think about that? Who wants to tackle this one first?
I saw a promo where the doctor said, if you had a headache and I gave you 10, you had a bottle of 10 aspirins in it, are you going to take it? And one is lethal. He said, depends on how fucking much my head hurt. Look, that's all I need to see.
That's all you need to hear, right?
That's all I need to hear.
That's all you need to hear. Yeah. Danny, what you got?
I think for me is that, for the 7 people who've never heard of Michael Jordan, everything is going to be shocked and valued by this.
Right.
But like you said, to the person that's actually even watched the game remotely in the last 20 years, who've known Michael Jordan, even like 25, 30 years, none of this stuff is not what we don't know. If you didn't watch the Hall of Fame speech, that should tell you everything.
Everything you know. Right.
The Hall of Fame speech tells you everything.
Right.
And it's more than just a crying Jordan meme. It was more than that.
Yeah,
I was expecting Kobe Bryant's speech to be sound the same way as Mike's is, but back towards the topic for tonight is that even though I've known Jordan's, I've watched and been a Jordan, a fan of Jordan since I was inch high to a centerpiece. I'm still going to watch this because there's always going to be something that we don't know.
Exactly. 10
parts. Like, this is not like some 30 for 30 special. No, this is. They have 100 hours of like footage.
Right.
That I don't know if you guys heard the story of how this thing happened. I think Ramona Shelburne on ESPN documented it the other day. The reason why this documentary came out is when LeBron James won the championship in Cleveland during the championship parade, because Jordan had complete control of all that footage from the NBA. He was like, okay, let's do the documentary. So this thing took 2 years. We ain't got nothing else to do. Even when this thing was supposed to drop during the finals, because they're going to drop this during the NBA finals.
Right.
I think it was over 10 nights.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I would have watched that over the finals. I would have. Listen.
Hey, Danny, I'm going to put this in perspective.
I'm a Jordan guy, so.
Listen, to put this in perspective, y'all remember the OJ 30 for 30 series, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what, 5 or 6 segments? Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is 10. Over OJ. Think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? Kaiser, what you got, man? What's your thoughts?
This ain't gonna change anyone's current perception of Michael Jordan. if you already think Michael Jordan is a terrible person and you hate him because
You're probably right.
Michael Brown or whatever, then this is going to validate your feelings. And if you think that Michael Jordan's negative aspects get overblown by the media and people who don't really know that much about the ins and outs of basketball ownership, then this is going to be. But having said that, this is gonna be like insanely interesting because see, the thing is, I like the fact that Michael Jordan it was an asshole when he played for the Chicago Bulls. That's
Absolutely.
why he won. That's why, and it's funny because when Kobe Bryant did it, rest in peace, it's Mamba mentality.
It's Mamba mentality, right?
Michael
Right.
Jordan was doing it 10 years before. Then he's just a dick. And by the way, he didn't pay Kemba Walker. That's how they. But I love that aspect of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan don't pay my bills. I don't owe anything to Michael Jordan. He don't owe anything to me. He's an iconic basketball player, and that's it. I don't worship. I love Michael Jordan, but I don't worship the guy or whatever. If he's a dick, then so what? So what?
Hey, Kaza, I'm glad you said that, man, because in this social media age, man, it's like if nobody ever watched basketball, you would think basketball did not exist outside of Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. So all you see is LeBron guys, Michael guys, Kobe guys. It's like three gangs. And these three gangs, all these gangs are gonna just stick up for their guy. You get what I'm saying?
What happened to the Magic and Bird? Are they part of the Jordan gang?
Look, hey, the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson guys are like old Italian gangs. They still there, but they're just not vocal. You know what I mean? They locked up and they old. They're just not there anymore. Rodney, what you saying?
Hey, some kid told me that basketball in the 80s was full of plumbers, so they don't count.
And basketball,
and then there's that.
A bunch of guys who can't shoot jump shots. I mean, literally.
Right. and then there's that. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, with this docuseries, man, the one thing that I'm interested in the dynamic that I'm really interested in seeing is Phil Jackson, how he handled all these Eagles on one team, because it wasn't. Look, it's funny that I'm saying this, man, because people have to realize it's not a Michael Jordan series per se. It's a Chicago Bulls documentary. You get what I'm saying? So the one thing I'm kind of interested in seeing is how Phil Jackson handled Michael, how he handled Dennis Rodman. That's going to be a bigger story than what people are thinking about, how he handled Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc. So I'm kind of interested in seeing that part of it, man. Is there anything that y'all are looking out for in particular?
So I want to know, do they actually get to cover the private prisons or not?
Right. Forgot about that. Yeah. I wondered if Michael start his investment during those Bulls years.
I just want to know, did the last season of lead into him drafting of Adam Morrison?
Right.
The greatest moment of Bobcat history?
Right.
It's funny because I think people, a lot of times, Jordan fans get blamed for the nostalgia effect. Like, we remember all of the great things that Michael Jordan did, and we don't remember his failures. Like, they got beat by the Orlando Magic, and when he came back, we tend to gloss over those things, which is a fair point. But the converse of that is that people forget that last season with the Bulls weren't nearly as good as they were. The Utah Jazz were arguably a better team. They were a 61-win team out of the West. Scottie Pippen was playing on a bad back. He was broken down. There was this internal conflict. We know the stories about Dennis Rodman and how him and Jordan didn't even talk. They didn't even conversate.
And Tony Kukoc absolutely sucked that series. That's another thing. But go ahead.
And so Jordan kind of, as much as you could carry a team, we haven't seen anything like that since LeBron James with Cleveland, obviously, but Michael Jordan kind of willed that team to that championship, and I think this will remind people of that. Like, hey, this is why this guy is so great, because he knew what it was going to have to take to beat a superior Utah Jazz team. So.
I don't know. Oh, this is our favorite troll, JG speaking. Thanks, sir, for your comment.
By the way, Vince made a comment that he's never watched the Hall of Fame speech, Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech. Everyone should watch that speech. I don't care what you do.
That's a requirement before you even watch the documentary tonight.
Yeah, right. It should be required watching. I agree.
And take those life lessons with you.
Right.
So it's now what? It's middle of the afternoon. It's some part of the day on Sunday. I think at some point before 8:59, take the 30 to 35 minutes, watch the speech, and then get your drink ready because that's going to help you to understand. And for me, the thing I want to see is it's more than just the star players. I want to see how the role players took to this.
Right.
Like, I mean, Mike, if I'm playing in practices every day, I got to guard Michael Jordan. He's basically emasculating me on a daily basis. On the court and off the court. You know, I want to see how those guys. I want to see how Steve Kerr reacted. I think what John Sally was on his team, Dickie Simpkins. I want to see how those guys, the 12, 13, the 14 man on the roster, had to deal with Michael Jordan. What was that like?
What was Randy Brown thinking about?
Steve Kerr, the story is that Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face, and you'll never hear Steve Kerr say a bad thing about Michael Jordan ever.
But was that during the final? I can't remember what year. Was that either the year before or was that the final year? I can't remember what year that was. I gotta look that up.
In the final year, the final three, actually. I think
it was one of those years. I remember the story. He punched him in practice over being too competitive. I mean, but see, the thing is, you say it's Mamba mentality. If Kobe does it, when Jordan transitioned basketball, people understand. Kobe had one thing. Iverson did culture. Michael Jordan had a set of rules created to stop
him.
The Jordan rules was real. Like it was real. It was like Bounty Gate.
You ever heard the saying? It's something to the effect of "Be careful lest you become the monsters that you fight." That's what happened to Michael Jordan. You look at him before the Detroit years, before Detroit was bouncing him out of the playoffs every year, and he realized, I got to become like them to beat them. And he did. Michael Jordan, if you look at the, once Michael Jordan started winning championships, he was like, this is how I got to be, because that's how the Pistons were. And those Celtics
no doubt.
were like that too. The stories about the things Larry Bird used to say to people. Michael Jordan knew he had to be that kind of person. So.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Let me say this real quick, man, because I commented on a post that Vince posted in the Charlotte Hornets group, and I said that as much as I'm looking forward to this special, I am equally looking forward to it being over. And here is why. Because of some of the things Kaiser said, man, and because of some of the things I said about the Kobe guys, the LeBron guys, and the Michael guys, I feel like the obsession over every little thing Michael Jordan does is very annoying at this point. And this is coming from the biggest Michael Jordan fan you'll find. You get what I'm saying? But I think every single thing that people are obsessed with this man is just, I don't know, man. It's overboard sometimes. What do y'all think about that?
Man, if he'll sit down somewhere. I mean, it's like this. Jordan is the same way to basketball as people think about Michael Jackson when it comes to music. You know, there's always that one in every single genre, sports, entertainment aspect. You know, in life, there's always that one. And Michael Jordan not only transitioned people in our generation, but think about it now. He's still up there in culture because guess what? The shoes he wore 25 years ago, they're still, when the second they come out, they're gone within 5 to 10 minutes. You're calling your sneaker hookup saying, yo, you got them in the size 12. Jordan has transitioned culture since the 80s, and we're now in the 2020.
Yep.
You know, it's the same way. It's the same something, it's like Madonna. You talk about Michael Jackson. Those people always be held at a high esteem, for example. It's the standard. And even with Kobe fans and LeBron fans and, even the 3 or 4 fans that are Giannis now fans, it's even Steph Curry fans, it's just that none of them combined can compare to Michael Jordan, what he did on the court, off the court, culture-wise. And the common person knew Michael Jordan. Go back to the McDonald's Olympic commercials, Gatorade. every person, even if you don't like Michael Jordan, everybody knows the Gatorade song.
Yeah.
Be like Mike. Space Jam. The man created Space Jam. He won a basketball game with Bugs Bunny. What more do you want from this man?
Hey, man. Hey, LeBron James has a school.
Hey, did y'all know Michael Jordan built a hospital?
Yes.
Right? No, that's not possible, Kaiser. No way. He only invests in prisons and drinks Hennessy. No way that's possible, man.
They wear baggy jeans.
Yeah, that's got to be fake news.
The worst thing about Michael Jordan is how he dresses. If I'm a billionaire, I probably dress the same way too. I wouldn't care.
Man,
Listen,
why should you care?
I learned this. I actually covered a Hornets game a couple years ago when I was in town visiting, and the Clippers were in town. This is and Steve Ballmer was actually under the tunnel. Him and his wife. It was the weekend. I want to say it was the Belk Bowl weekend, and so him and his wife, they're just two casual people. He's dressed in a flannel shirt with some jeans that he got from Sears. His wife is like dressed like a school teacher. They're walking through the aisles of the cable bundle of Time Warner Cable Arena, or whatever you want to call it, Spectrum, whatever cable services is this month. They're walking down there, and they're asking me for a place to find something to eat. I'm like, yo, you guys are billionaires, like, So I
have it delivered, whatever you want.
Don't you have robots that work for you or something?
Well, no. The thing was, Steve's wife was saying, I really want some macaroni. I want some Southern food, some Southern home food. Some Southern home cooked food. And so at the time, I was like, well, I had just came to visit in town. I was like, well, the best place I know of at the time downtown was Mertz's because it's not far away from the arena. Listen, this is like 2006. I see Jamal's face. This is like a couple years ago. So I told him to go to Mertz's. And they were extremely grateful for it. But long story short, I asked Steve, what is the key to being, staying rich? He's like, listen, I don't go shopping. So I dress like this on a regular basis. So the key thing is they dress to keep what they have. You heard the stories of Warren Buffett. Does he drive like a Honda Accord or something? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, he drives a hybrid or a Prius or some shit like that.
Yeah, like he's worth $90 billion is driving a Prius.
See, I'll say this, man.
You should have sent him to the Joint Off Nations 4 Road.
Listen. First off, it was like it was raining. It was nasty. Listen, I'm not about to send a billionaire out to the hood on Nations 4.
Why not, Danny? You did not give him the authentic Charlotte experience, man. You send that dude to Tropical Goodies on Beatty's Ford Road next time. You don't tell him to stay out of town.
I don't know if Tropical Goodies was even open at that time though. This was like back in 16. This was like 16, 17. So it wasn't recent. But like my thing is like billionaires are a complete different story. But the outfits and change. But Michael Jordan. Like to this day, I have friends that I know that still go buy Jordans the day they come out, and all went. I still got friends who do that go out and buy the latest pair of Jordans the day they come out. A buddy of mine's got 50 pair of Jordans right now in his living room. Most of them he hasn't even worn.
Yeah,
he just buys them just to have them. But it's a cultural icon thing. So I don't mind watching Michael Jordan. I'm not annoyed by this. I've been waiting for this thing since 2018.
Yep,
no doubt.
I've been waiting until the day they dropped the first teaser trailer. I'm like, when the 2020? Why the hell is this?
Let me be clear, man. I'm just not looking forward to all the, I don't know, man, the nitpicking after this goes off by the anti-Michael guys. Let's put it like that. The anti-Michael guys are gonna be out in full force after this thing ends, man. I'm not looking forward to that, man.
Listen, Kobe's thing is coming next. All right, you got to think Kobe's going to have something soon. As soon as all this dies down a bit, after the Basketball Hall of Fame, once Vanessa has the time, and everything else, she's never going to get over it. Well, once that time goes by, you got to think it took Jordan 20 plus years to release this. You're going to tell me that there's not some Kobe footage out there from practices, games?
Come on, man.
Especially now in this age,
Look,
I'm sure there's something coming with Kobe involved in it.
Listen, and I'm not trying to start this debate. Please believe I'm not. But man, we've seen the way Kobe used to treat Sasha Vujacic. We saw that clip where he called the entire team soft. So
and Sharman said,
we saw that, man. So. Man, that's just how it is, man. But we got to move on, man. We kind of spent a lot of time on this topic, man. So the next topic, man. I just need to. I want to hold my hand in shame, man. Teddy Riley versus Babyface. Let me tell y'all something, man. I had my alcohol ready, man. I had my outfit ready.
I put it on the big TV, man. The big TV.
I found a way to put it on my TV. I had my hard bottoms on. I was ready, man. And then we get this disaster of a so-called battle. How disappointing was this, y'all? Who wants to take this one first?
It was very disappointing, man. Me and my wife were ready to celebrate the weekend. We was going to have the clubhouse going on, man. And then Teddy was like, can you hear me? Hear me? Hear me? Hear me? Hear me? Yeah. I'm like, yo, Teddy, come on, man. You need to call the grandkids to fix it for you.
Look, man, we are like stringing this podcast together on a StreamYard site, and the sound quality is 10 times better than it was last night. Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Any other thoughts, man? Anybody else watch it?
So I didn't watch in real time because I was, as much as I thought the Premier RZA battle was almost a seminal moment in modern hip hop in the internet age. Right. I didn't want another song popularity contest. You know, right. And it's kind of like, right. I can see the appeal of it. Teddy Riley, Babyface, these two legendary R&B producers, but it just didn't appeal to me. So I'm on Facebook and I start seeing the memes and the jokes.
My goodness.
Like, okay, my God. See what this shit is all about. And it's possible to do too much. Babyface.
You think so? You think so, Kaza?
Babyface was ready to go, had his shit set up, sounding good. Just him.
Just him.
You know, ready to play his joint. Teddy had the whole mixing board and the band, the pedal sets,
the dancer.
Not ready for social distancing.
Trying to probably had like 27 analog inputs trying to go into one cord on the phone. It wasn't gonna work, bro. So also I'll say this. We talked about this briefly off camera, but there are much better platforms to do this on.
Yeah.
YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, and I understand those guys don't have the followings that they do on Instagram, but what better time than the present to build those followings? If you say, hey, we're going to do a Teddy Riley versus Babyface battle on YouTube streaming, you know how many people would create YouTube accounts just to watch that?
No, you already know how many people have YouTube accounts anyway, so
and don't even use them.
So, I let this be a lesson for all. I hope it didn't kill the whole, streaming battles thing, because it was pretty bad. But we got some good memes out of it. So
yeah, Danny, what you got?
Just 5G towers, man.
I mean, I literally put my daughter to bed. I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I read her story. By 8:50, I was good to go. I just finished the battle with two of my homeboys over Outkast and Mobb Deep on StreamYard. I was okay. I'm ready to go.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go.
Right.
And then next thing you know, Teddy pops online with his suit, an entire band. I'm like,
flat screen TV.
Why was he playing the show? That's not his joint.
He produced that. He actually produced it.
Oh, he did. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So he comes out with the Crush suit on. I'm like, okay, either this is going to be an epic night or this is going to be an epic fail. and then Babyface comes out. And Babyface comes out, he smooth. Only one person in the room. Teddy Riley's got 700. Now, mind you, you can't meet more than 10 people. I think I saw 28 people on that screen.
It was 35 people in that screen.
So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So, like I said, Babyface has got his headphones on. He had a glass of wine in his hand. He was ready to go.
Plus velvet suit. He was ready.
He was ready. But I think to me, the best part that nobody's talking about was actually the lines Babyface was saying to Teddy Riley throughout the whole thing.
Hey, was it not subtle shade he was throwing, man? It was awesome.
I got some of the quotes here.
Hold on. What you got?
Some of the quotes. So when they played the show, to Kaza's point, Babyface asked, when did you produce that song? What were you, 12? Yo, some of the tracks, Babyface is like, I didn't even know you did that one. It was like subtle shade the whole time. Like,
hey, listen, hey Danny, dog, Afion Crockett did a skit on how Babyface was acting, man. It is hilarious, man. Please make sure you check that out after we get done with this, man.
The one Spice Adams did where he
that too, man.
Oh yeah.
Spice Adams did one too where he was Teddy, the dude in the black dude in the black outfit, and the band. What Cosmo said best with the Guitar Hero, the DJ Hero set in the background.
Oh man, so funny. Tony Braxton had some really good tweets.
Tony Braxton last night, man.
He was clowning hard.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, like, and the thing was, the best part is watching Teddy Riley blame everybody but himself.
Right.
He was blaming Babyface. How?
Babyface. He's like, turn down your mic. Turn down your mic. He said,
hey, look,
I just have your headphones.
and look, this was Babyface the whole time.
I think the best comment was on Instagram when someone said on the IG Live was like, "Yo, Babyface had the Omarion patience," and I was about dead. Look,
man, it's sad to say, man, but the comments were more entertaining than the doggone battle, man. Like seriously, man. Then what did Tyree say? He spelled some word wrong. I forgot what it was.
Tile. I know he used the word tile. I know that.
Tile instead of towel. Yeah, he said throw in the tile. Yeah.
It'd be different if he misspelled towel, like, you know, you forgot the E and the L. But where do you get tile and towel? Was he drinking Hennessy? I'm trying to figure, what was he drinking?
Probably. When trolling goes wrong, like if you're gonna troll somebody, you gotta know how to spell, man. You know what I'm saying?
I take last night. I posted on Facebook. I said last night was the year of 2020 on
in a nutshell. Yeah,
that was 2020. That's the year of 2020 so far on a nutshell. We got so hyped for 2020, and so far in 4.5 months, this is what we've gotten.
Hey, you know what I found funny about this? Then after that, DJ D Nice takes the opportunity to exploit this failure.
Yeah, he played everything, but I don't know.
What? And I'm like, man, this dude ain't shit, man. Like now, are we gonna get a battle next week? You know what I'm saying?
Listen. Teddy was already down 3-0 already.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already down. The second Babyface played "I Only Think of You," the live version.
Right.
When he was like, "Yo," when he brought out that glass one, I was like, "I'm dedicating this one for the ladies."
Yeah,
and he put his glass on camera.
It was about to be over. It was about to be over, man.
He played "I Only Think of You" while he was sipping that wine. I was like, "Oh hell, it's gonna be a long night." It's like watching the Panthers game. It's a long night.
Oh, stop it, man! And look, hey, Teddy was about to take a beating on the low, man. Straight up.
Oh, he was about to get washed.
Hey, so
Teddy was about to get washed, man.
so give me your top 5 Babyface tracks.
Ooh, damn, on the spot. Who want to take that one first? Let me ask you this question, Rodney. Are these songs he produced or his personal songs?
Yeah,
all inclusive.
All inclusive. Ooh, man.
Well, I'll start out.
All right,
go ahead.
Go.
Can we talk?
Okay, good one.
Roni, Bobby Brown.
All right.
Ready or Not After 7.
Okay.
This is hard, man. Look, I'm a Bobby Brown fan, man. I'm gonna say Rock With You.
That's one of mine.
And I think he did this, but I'm not sure. Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart.
No, he didn't do that one. Believe it or not, he didn't do that one.
Well, then I got another one for you, man. Brandy, Sitting Up in My Room.
Wow. You picked that one?
I picked that one, man. I like that one.
All right, Danny, what you got?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with "Not Gonna Cry" by Mary J.
All right.
He did that.
Yeah, he did that.
That was Wayne Takes Hell soundtrack. That whole soundtrack is a cheat code by itself.
Right. He could have just played that and watched Teddy. You know what I'm saying?
Even "Shoot" for Whitney Houston's on that list.
I was gonna say "Shoot." Yep.
Wow. Man. Whew. Man. When Can I See You by Baby?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Rodney already used Can We Talk? So I'm on 3. Man,
Yo, look. I just realized
Red Light Special by TLC.
Oh, good one.
And man, ooh. Man, I know it's all Jamal singing. I already know it in the back of my head. That's up there, but
you know what Jamal's going with this.
I know what Jamal's going with this, but for me, man, I guess I'm gonna have to go Bobby Brown Roney.
All right,
I mean, if I had to go back, damn, that's hard ass list though.
Kaz, you got anything?
Yeah, pretty much everything everybody else has said. I'm gonna add "My by Johnny Gill.
Yes. Good one.
There was another Johnny Gill song. He produced a lot of Johnny Gill songs, but I liked "Fair Weather Friend."
Yep.
He produced that too.
You got that one too.
Whip Appeal, of course. No one said Whip Appeal. That's
right.
Like the Babyface song.
Right.
Man, he just did so much. I mean, you really can't break it down to a top 5. I just don't think.
All right, here's my 5. Sunshine, Water Runs Dry. There's a song by Tony Braxton that's not like really known. It's not like a popular song. It's called God, I can't think of the damn song, man.
It's Not You Making Me High, is it?
No, it's not that, man. It's on that album, but I can't think of the name of the doggone song. There's No Me Without You. Yeah, that's the name of the song. That's 3. I gotta put My Mind in, man, because that song is incredible, dude. So that's gotta go on. That's number 4 for me, man. Number 5, I gotta go with number 5, man. Number five. This is a lot tougher than I thought, man.
No Boys to Men.
I'll Make Love to You. I'll go, just because I don't know what else to pick, man. So
the one song I forgot to put on my list was Another Sad Love song by Tony Braxton.
Yeah, he did that one too. Yeah.
But I mean, that's just telling you, Babyface, like I said, when Babyface had the wine, he already knew this contest was over.
Okay, but Teddy Riley
ain't no slouch. Look.
I mean, you can take Teddy.
Look.
You can take Teddy Riley's Michael Jackson catalog.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember the Time? I mean,
oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, so I don't know, man. That was it. I wish that had played out better than it did.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Look, hopefully, I don't know if I'm in the minority when I say this, but hopefully we still get that battle at some point. But let me say this, man. By the numbers, I'm not talking about who you prefer, who you like more, all this stuff. But if we're talking simply by the volume and the number of hits someone has produced, nobody comes close to Babyface, man. That's just fact. That's not my opinion. That's just, if you look at chart records and all this other stuff, man, Babyface has that on lock, man. But the key to this is when it comes to jams, who got the most jams? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna matter when it comes to these type of battles, man.
Yeah.
So hopefully we still get it, man. So
look, I'm
gonna
give you my 5 Teddy joints, man.
All right.
This is my Teddy joints. Rump Shaker.
Okay.
Make It Last Forever. Let's Chill. Before
I did not know he did Make It Last Forever. That's new to me.
Well,
that's what's up.
Hey, he did a lot of Keith Sweat, man.
And okay.
And then the show. I didn't realize he did the show.
I didn't realize that either till last night.
What you got, Jamal? What's your top 5 Teddy Riley since Rodney?
Remember the Time is number 1, hands down number 1. That's my song, man. Goodbye by Guy. Oh God, man, another one, Teddy. This is hard, man. This is really hard. I feel like I'm gonna name 3 more Guy songs. You know what I mean? Somebody else go first because I got to think about this.
I'll say Rump Shaker, No Diggity, Remember the Time, Teddy Jam, and
All right, I got my 3.
yeah, that's my 4 actually. Okay, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right, I'm gonna go. Piece of My Love.
Oh man,
yeah. Women hate that song. I'm gonna go Jam by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And
Michael Jordan was in the video, so
because Michael Jordan was in the video. That's it. That's it. And I'm gonna go Teddy's Jam too. That's my 5.
See, mine would be Groove Me by Guy.
Forgot about Groove Man. Yeah. Forgot about that.
I mean, that's the one song he played that he actually had a chance to win last night with.
Right.
Let's see. Piece of My Love is on there. No Diggity.
Yeah.
Rump Shaker, because I think that's pretty much everywhere.
Universal, right?
I think it's universally for every single song.
Right.
Wow, man, I'm gonna have to say just off the top of my head,
I got a late entry. Oh
Goodbye Love.
I got a late entry. Don't Leave by Blackstreet. I forgot about that. That's yeah. All right, y'all. So we're at an hour. We're gonna do shout outs if we got them, man. Once again, my shout out is always to the fans. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for keeping up with us, man. We're trying to keep this thing going. Who wants to go next? Who got the shout outs?
Shout out to Danny for joining us. He doesn't know, but he's part of the crew.
Yeah, Danny, you are official extended under construction family. If you didn't know, man, so
he's under construction, Florida man, and I'm gonna give a shout out to the essential workers out there, man.
No doubt. Kaiser, what you got?
I'm gonna give a shout out to NASCAR for their handling of the Kyle Larson situation.
Yeah, for real. Good job.
Yeah, Kyle Larson during a live stream of an iRacing event. It wasn't an official NASCAR event, but something they've been doing was where the drivers participate in iRacing, which is a multiplayer simulation racing service. He dropped the N-word with a hard R, and he didn't think that he thought the only person that could hear it was his crew chief, but in fact he had said it to the entire chat. The retribution was swift. The next day he lost all of his sponsors. His racing team fired him, and NASCAR gave him an indefinite suspension.
Good job.
And here's the weird thing about it. Not really weird, but he himself is part Japanese. His parents were in an internment camp, or his grandparents were in an internment camp, and he came up through the NASCAR's diversity program. NASCAR actually has a program in order to try and get more diverse drivers into NASCAR, and he came up through that program. So, they could have said, "Hey, the guy made a mistake," and but they didn't. They were just like, "Nope, no tolerant. We don't tolerate that at all. Goodbye," and that's it. So, I'm all for second chances, but if he wants to continue his racing career, he's got to do a lot, especially considering the current perception of NASCAR. He's gonna have to do a lot to fix that, and I don't really think he can. But big ups to NASCAR and all of those sponsors for just saying, we're done with him. We don't want to deal with this. Move on.
No doubt. Danny, what you got?
Big shout outs to the three of you guys, for making me the honorary cousin to the family.
No doubt.
It's like being Capadonna.
I'm just trying to fail part of Charlotte. You guys gonna consider me from then, since we all from Charlotte here. So, I guess West Charlotte, is my side of the town.
No, man, no, you can't do West Side, dog. That's already taken, man.
What?
West Side.
No,
you can't do West Side, man.
See, I'm Tuckasegee. Y'all gotta kill me on that one. So, yeah, but no. I shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody who watched. People comment. People will be talking about this for a while, but my daughter, who's actually quiet, not saying anything, didn't pop out this entire time to speak. She always does this on podcasts, but no. Big shout out to you guys. Like I said, it's always fun. Always when Rodney gives me a phone call, I'll jump on.
No doubt, man. So, once again, to the fans out there under construction, to the people in the chat who are participating, JG, Vince, whoever else I didn't mention, man, thank y'all for joining us today, man. We will see y'all very soon, man. Probably next week, man. So keep on joining us, keep on commenting, keep on liking, keep on sharing. And once again, thank you. Peace, y'all.
Go Hornets, go Panthers.
Go Hornets, go Panthers.
Bye,
Screw the Falcons. Peace.
Yo,